integration. It's one topic in definite integral we will begin. Before we go into the concepts, we need to understand what is this basically. See, if a function y is equal to x cube, whose graph I have drawn here, y is equal to x cube, a function is taken. If I do the differentiation, I see dy by dx, this is equal to 3x square. This is known as derivative of x cube. Now what is the meaning of derivatives? As we have seen in differentiation, whenever we get dy by dx, in general this will be the slope of the tangent drawn to the curve at any point. Now if I go back with the help of 3x square equation, that this 3x square slope we have obtained from which function? So the reply is we have obtained this from x cube. So with respect to 3x square, x cube, the function y is equal to x cube is known as antiderivative. It is antiderivative. Or the other name which is given is primitive. Primitive means the original function from which we have obtained this differentiation, the slope of the tangent. So in this process, we find that here our intention is to find the original function from which we have obtained the given derivative. This is known as integration. Here we will use formula directly for that. So this process only is known as integration. But one point is there. This will be applicable further whenever we are writing formula. Now the second question, this 3x square is differentiation of y is equal to x cube. Now just think of it. I have drawn the tangent, 3x square is that, means the slope of the tangent. Okay. Now this is to y is equal to x cube. I have drawn curves by shifting the point here. You see this is y is equal to x cube plus 1, y is equal to x cube plus 2, y is equal to x cube plus 3. If I do the differentiation of all, you see because of being constant, the second term, everywhere the value of dy by dx we obtain as 3x square only. That is, it is uncertain that whenever we are talking about 3x square being the derivative, so it's uncertain that from which function have we obtained. It was about y equal to x cube, or y equal to x cube plus 1, or y equal to x cube plus 2. Not only this, we can shift that to right hand side also. Whether it was y is equal to x cube minus 1, y is equal to x cube plus minus 2, etc. So here the constant makes the change. Means integration is not the process to get the exact function to which we have got the slope of tangent. It is the process to obtain the family of all those curves which are having tangents parallel to this one. Slope means all tangents which can have this slope, and those functions are obtained with the help of integration. You can see all these are like parallel to each other, okay, with some particular gap. All tangents are parallel, and these all are since parallel, so their slopes will be equal. Only points will be changed, but their slopes finally will be equal as they are parallel. We have taken the second example also. Here it is y is equal to minus x square, and it's a parallel curves I have drawn. So y is equal to minus x square. If I do the differentiation, I am having dy by dx as minus 2x. Now you can see minus 2x is not a differentiation of this curve, only all those which are parallel. So when I draw the tangent, you see, you will find tangents parallel to each other to all these curves. That is why y is equal to dy by dx equal to minus 2x is the slope of tangent for all these. Means this is a derivative. Whenever we are talking about derivative conclusion, whenever we are talking about derivative, we are talking about the slope of the tangents to the curve. When we are talking about the integration, then graphically it means to get all those curves which may have the tangents which are having the slope minus 2x. Okay, this is basically about indefinite integral. Okay, now other terms we will see later. The second part of integration is definite integral. Now definite is whenever we actually take a curve within an interval, there our purpose is to find the area enclosed by the curve. I have drawn here a curve from the limit x equal to a to x equal to b. Then here we need to find the area enclosed by the function. So in this case, as we see, there is a limit left hand and right hand of this function. It's a definite structure. That's why we say this is definite integral. Practically, this concept is useful, very much useful in science, obviously, engineering, mathematics, obviously. Furthermore, I would like to say beyond this, all this, it's applicable in economics also. Mainly this definite one. So, by the way, we will learn how to integrate with the help of questions and the meaning of terms also we will see. Like here I have taken indefinite integral, so we will begin with that. Just like the operator symbol, we take d by dx for differentiation in general. Here for integration, we take a spiral-like symbol and we write here dx. There you could see in d by dx when we write, it is in denominator. So this comes like a multiplication, not basically, but it comes like it is in multiplication, not in denominator. So this symbol we use for integration. In between, we write the function to be integrated. This is all integration. Okay, this function which we have to integrate is known as integrand. In general, as I said, these all terms you will see very rarely, but still it's integrand. And overall, the final answer, suppose I get capital Fx, the other function, the antiderivative of Fx is capital Fx, but as you could see, keep in mind, as you could see, there may be a slight change of constant. We don't know what constant got either added or subtracted. So that's why whenever integration is done, we always put the antiderivative with a constant plus c. We write c for constant here, and c contains either c may be negative or positive, but we always put like plus c to show that there may be a constant also either subtracted or added to the primitive. So this thing what we have obtained is known as integral. Integral at last of the function which we have integrated. So these are the basic terms. Now how can we do with the help of question? We see. First thing which we are going to see for practice in indefinite integral will be integration by inspection. This is a method which can be used for basic functions. How? Let me explain. I see that when I differentiate e raised to the power x, its differentiation is e raised to the power x as it is. Now, if I consider that fx is equal to ex and this is to be integrated, then integration of fx with respect to x, this dx we write for this purpose, with respect to x, this will be e raised to the power x dx, putting the value of fx we get so. Now, we have to think that from which function have we obtained. As I see, this is the differentiation of ex itself. So we will put the answer as ex but a constant together. This was first simple example. Now second, d by dx if I do or e raised to the power 2x, then by chain rule we find that 2 e raised to the power 2x is the differentiation. And once again if I consider the new function fx to be integrated is only e raised to the power 2x. Now see what is the change. I want to integrate only e raised to the power 2x. So integration of fx means integration of e raised to the power 2x dx. This is, we have to think that what is the primitive of this function, means from which function have we obtained. I see that when we differentiate e raised to the power 2x, now this is not the only result. In result we are having 2 in multiplication with that. So this can also be written as, you see its application. Now this can be written as d by dx of e raised to the power 2x upon 2. This will be e raised to the power 2x. we have converted the right hand side function similar to this integrand, but we have to integrate actually. So what are the benefit? Now you can check. Once you can check, e raised to the power 2x if I will differentiate will be twice of e to the power 2x. That twice 2 will be cancelled out and we are left with e raised to the power 2x. So antiderivative or primitive of this function is e raised to the power 2x upon 2. So here we will write half e raised to the power 2x plus c. This way we can make, these are for basic functions only, not a big one. Okay. Once again, example d by dx of sin x. See the change. I am writing cos x. So integration of cos x is, think of it, cos x we obtained from which function? Sin x. So result is sin x plus c. Don't forget to write the constant c. Moreover, I see d by dx of cos x. This is a minus sin x. Now I need to find its integration. Integration of sin x if I need, then only sin x I require. So from this relation I can say when I integrate minus cos x, you will find cos x becomes a minus sin x, so minus to minus will turn plus sin x. So from this relation you can obtain the differentiation of minus cos x. Now we can say sin x is obtained from the function minus cos x. That's why integration of sin x will be minus cos x plus c. So these things we can do by inspection, but within a limit, as I said, within a limit. So this is one method which is used to solve the basic function. By the same method, we make the identities formulae of integration. Its list is to be seen. Let's check this now. Now here, to introduce the formulae, I have taken the basic fundamentals formulae of differentiation, fundamental derivatives, total 15 in number of the basic functions. By inspection, how we make formulae to be used directly in equations. Let's see. Here first one, as I see, it is differentiation of x to the power n. So by inspection, I can say integration of x to the power n minus 1. Right hand side of function I will integrate now. Its integration, this will be x to the power n upon n plus c. This I have shifted left hand side. But the thing is, here for the convenience of using the formula as a formula, if we want to use, we are not comfortable with n minus 1 power. So that's why if I convert this power as n, integration of x to the power n, so this will convert as n plus 1 and this also will become n plus 1 right hand side. This becomes first formula, first rule. Now this is an advice whenever you are seeing formulae, then you should categorize them in the form of I, late, which in general I use, and everyone actually is comfortable with this abbreviation. Is standing for inverse trigonometric, logarithmic, algebraic, trigonometric and exponential functions. So this grouping you can do. This is trigonometric function. Now see, right hand side function I will integrate and will put the result like integration of cos x, this becomes sin x plus c. Recently we could see an example. Third one, integration of sin x, we will take basic function, no minus or plus sign, so that's why we get minus cos x plus c in right hand side. Fourth one, integration of sec square x, this is direct answer would be tan x plus c. So every time whenever fundamentally we are using this formula, you have to think of primitive from which function we have obtained this differentiation. Fifth one, cos x square x, its integration is minus cot x plus c. Next, if I integrate sec x, tan x, I will find as this is obtained from sec x, so its integration is sec x plus c. Seventh, integration of cosec x, cot x, this is minus cosec x plus c. We keep moving further. The important thing, if I integrate directly this function, 8th, integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square. So we will find this as sine inverse x plus c. We complete the list. Ninth one, if I take integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square, again can be written as minus cos inverse x plus c. How can we do? By the way, let me explain why these two are equal. No changes given the formula. Suppose in this function cos inverse x, I want to convert in sine inverse. So if I replace this value by the identity of inverse trigonometry, cos inverse x can be written as pi by 2 minus sine inverse x plus c. Open the bracket with minus sign, you will get minus pi by 2 plus sine inverse x plus c. Now c is a constant. Obviously any constant in addition or subtraction we get, this will be included in constant c only. So finally this converts in sine inverse x plus c, because all constants are written as together c capital. Okay, now that could be written as c1, c2, so etc. But still constant one term only will be written here. So this converts in the previous form. So it doesn't matter if we are taking this form also. So you can write in either of the forms, sine and cos both. Now we go ahead. This was just an explanation. If I take the next one, integration of 1 upon x root 1 minus x square, this is x square minus 1. If I take, then you see, this can be written as either sec inverse x plus c, or you can write minus cosec inverse x plus c. 11th I can write 1 upon 1 plus x square dx. Either you write it tan inverse x plus c, or you write minus cot inverse x plus c. All these are same. Furthermore, if I go now, the 12th one, integration of only ax I a raised to e power x. So this is a constant log of it to the base e actually. So this can be taken in denominator of ax itself. So its result would be a raised to e power x upon log of a to the base e plus c. Now we can keep this thing in mind. In the case of differentiation, this constant comes in multiplication, here comes in division. Okay. Now next one, it is ex, the best function. Its integration or differentiation always remains the same. Its integration also is ex plus c. And the last one, the fundamental, we can write integration of 1 upon x dx. This can be taken as log of x to the base e plus c. So these 15 are the fundamental formulae. Now few functions are left which we have not seen, like tan x, sec x, cosec x, cot x. This we have not seen. Log x also is fundamental to the base e, but still we have not seen its integration. All these things actually, these are not fundamental. These are fundamental function but not formulae. They are not fundamental integration now. So for that we need to see some methods. Later on I will introduce. Here is the introduction. So this much we will start with. Their application you will see in questions. Let's take a few questions, but before that would like to introduce some properties also. A few properties of integration which we have to use actually in questions. These are, first one, whenever you are given fx, gx and more functions in addition or subtraction, then yes, we can do the separate integration of all these. No need to do that together. We can do the integration separately, like integration of fx plus minus integration of gx, whatever be there, plus or minus, and doesn't matter how many functions are added or subtracted. Second thing, whenever a function, just like the property of differentiation, you see k is a constant given in multiplication with the function or in division, so this can be taken out as in multiplication of the integration of only fx, doesn't affect the result. Next, here we go. If I am having only a constant to be integrated, now let me tell you a very important part of integration. Wherever this is to be integrated, yeah, like differentiation, this will not be 0. This will be written as k 1 dx, the integration of 1. So this also should be included in the fundamental list aside. I know this is not a fundamental one, but still you should include. Why? If I want to find the integration of 1, I should see whose differentiation I am having 1. Always x with respect to x. If I do, this will be x. So integration of 1 is x plus c. So this becomes x plus c. So always we will get k into x, k into c. We can write a constant like c1. But the main intention is here in integration we can't get the result 0 till we are having a part of the function to be 0 or by some property it is being 0. But basically integration cannot be 0. Integration cannot be 0 of a function. Differentiation may be, but not integration. So this makes a rule that whenever you are given a function, here we can write k fx dx can be done, just like the second one, explanation of it. Okay, so this way these are properties we have to use. We can take few questions to understand the properties and formulate. Let's start. Now for questions, as I have taken here, first to integrate this function, not a single, here 3 terms are taken. So to integrate this function, I will write, we can consider this to be fx. Integration of fx includes integration of these terms. So first of all, I wrote in place of fx, and by the properties this can be separated for each. We will get here this way. Now fundamental identities and formula can be applied. X to the power 3, like x to the power n, compare. It's x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So this becomes x to the power 3 plus 1 upon 3 plus 1. So obviously this becomes 4, and in denominator also you can write 4 directly. But one thing, here there are 3 terms, so 3 constants. As I said, whenever you are doing the integration, final integral is written with one constant only. So at last only we will put one constant as c, plus integration of dx being fundamental as it is, and of sin x we see it is minus cos x, so that becomes minus cos x, and at last we put c compulsorily in indefinite integral. Keep in mind, here the next integration again, if I take this to be fx, this should be developed as a habit of presentation. So 3 5 raised to the power x minus x square plus 1 dx. If I have, so yes, we will separate again thrice of 5 raised to the power x minus integration of x square dx. Dx also is must calculate, plus integration of 1 dx. Now here we see 3 will be out. Now we will operate only 5 raised to the power x. 5 raised to the power x by the basic formula. You can see this is in the list a raised to the power x. So here the value of a is given 5. So this can be written as 5 raised to the power x upon log of 5 to the base e minus this by first formula as x cube upon 3, and recently we could see this is x plus c. So this is just an introduction with the help of 2 questions and few properties and identities. Now next module I will take NCERT question to explain it better. I hope this much is understood. Whenever, one more advice, whenever you are using these identities and formulae, I advise you to keep the list with you so that these will settle in mind. Don't sit for bugging up directly. Okay. I hope you got everything here. Thank you. That's all.